Hello, beautiful souls. So I am going to do this. This is my second attempt. I just didn't feel quite centered quite yet when I hit the record button the first time. So now I feel hopefully a little more centered and my words will want to come out. So our tea time tea bag wisdom for today is love is the ultimate law of life. Love is the ultimate law of life. So on the timer, I'm going to just read the numbers that came through the timer when I first attempted to record this. We got 222, we got 333, and 111. So the other numbers that came up right before I got on to check the weather, because we're supposed to be getting some like 3 to 5 inches with a lot of wind later today. It was 22 degrees, but it felt like 11. So these numbers are very significant. And if you start seeing an uptick of these numbers, there's no coincidence, okay? They're also key code signs and synchronicities that you coded yourself with to pay your attention. 102 on the timer. So 2211, 1122. And we're going to talk about the one, there's the 1111. Or sorry, 111. So we've got the progression numbers, the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s showing up. So thank you for that, source. Much gratitude and appreciation. So hopefully everyone's staying warm depending on where you're at. We actually got some snow this morning that made the roads a bit more slippery and sloppy. They hadn't, sometimes you just get enough that just during a lot of, especially drop off for schools, there's just a lot of traffic. Usually they're pretty good in our area and keeping up on the roads, and we're supposed to get some significant weather later, starting this afternoon and lasting until tomorrow. So I'll see. I'm supposed to participate in Reiki Share tonight, so we'll see if we have class tonight. Excuse me. Tea time. Cheers. Have a sip of water. Ground. Send those tree roots down into Gaia. Wrap your roots around her crystalline core 3 times. Give it a little tug. Breathe up to source and just cleanse your pillar. You know, just cleanse, 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 as above, so below. Just cleanse your pillar. If you've been out, if you're feeling a little something, some way, because there's a lot going on, you're receiving a lot, you're detoxing a lot, not just in the physical, but also in your energetic field. You know, everything that no longer serves, whether it's energetic imprints or implants and all of these different things, you can feel that in many ways. So today I'm struggling. I'm a little more tired today. 244 on the timer. Thank you again, source. So I'm a little more fatigued, but again, I'm part of this frequency family that made a commitment, and I'm gonna put out whatever content in the messy, magical, magnificent way it's meant to be, in the most real, authentic way. And if I'm a little fatigued, I'm gonna share that. But usually what happens when I start channeling or sharing information, my energy goes up a little bit. So that's the bonus with working with source consciousness. That's the bonus with working higher consciousness. You start channeling, you start streaming that energy and that frequency, and your energy instantly gets cleared and it actually elevates you. So that usually helps. All right, so today is December the 9th, 2025. Again, all videos are timeless. Your team and source will place me and anyone else in your awareness exactly when you're meant to see us, right? That could be in a week, it could be right now, it could be tomorrow, it could be 6 months from now, it could be a year from now. But just understand that you will receive exactly what you were meant to receive in perfect timing, in that now present self that you are in, right? Because we're always constantly evolving, and we are constantly making those choices, and just the theme is being more present with self, and just being still, not just in the physical sense, but clearing the mind and just being still in the mind as well. So last night I was doing something in the bathroom, and I got this like intuitive download hit, however you want to say it, drops in the rainbow 12 chakra system came into mind. And I've done many meditations, activations on those. There's a particular channel that she has done that, in its light language meditation. They're about 30 minutes a piece, and she goes through the whole system, the 12 chakra system, which basically goes from your root all the way up to your universal chakra. But then after that, I'm starting to write some information down, thinking, okay, so I had to kind of ask, okay, do you want me to, like, trying to find the guidance on that. And it's like guided to share starting today, and I will record that when we're done. Light language for that from now until the solstice. So why is that? That's 13 days. So that's 13 light language for the system, the chakra system. So when you look up the rainbow 12 chakra system, you'll see just the 12 moving from the root up. That is usually not included with the Earth Star chakra. So we are going to include the Earth Star, and today's video will be starting from the Earth Star, and we'll move all the way up to the universal chakra, and the universal chakra light language will be on the solstice. So I literally didn't realize this until I'm sitting down, writing some information, checking I'm like, it feels like just intuitively, it feels like we're about 12 or 13 days out from the solstice. I went to the calendar, and yes, for sure, after I looked up the Earth Star chakra to add that to the other 12, guided to start with the Earth Star and work up from now until then. Again, all those will be timeless. And again, you don't have to go in order, because when I've done those meditations before, I've done them in order or out of order, wherever I was guided to work with whatever chakra system that is going to be. So anyways, when I'm doing my research, getting some information and some guidance and some just intuitive knowings and nudges, and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's literally, we start today, start at 0, right? We start at 0. So the Earth Star chakra, which is 0 on the chart, right? If you were to look at the chart, and basically that is 6 to 12 inches below your feet. So typically when you're doing meditations or grounding, they usually have you ground through your feet, right? But when you consciously are aware of those particular chakras, now I mean, these are just your main ones. You know, some people just know the 7. I knew of only the 7 for a while because I was only meant to know of 7, and then the 12 came in, and then the Earth Star came in. But remember, you all have interpersonal chakra systems and energetics that are unique to you personally. I'm getting really warm now. I should have cracked the window, as it does when I start channeling and having conversation with you beautiful souls. So thanks for hanging out. This is day 29 of sharing my real raw frequency and energy with you, the collective. All right. The tea probably helps to warms me up a little bit as well. So anyways, Earth Star chakra, number 0. All right, 6 to 12 inches below the feet. So when I ground, I literally imagine that I'm grounding not just from my root, my base, but also through the Earth Star chakra into Gaia, into the crystalline grid of Gaia, into the realm of where Gaia's heart is, and then wrapping my roots around her heart, the crystalline heart. Okay, so that's just a great way to visualize. If you're able to use your visualization more, mine's more feeling, you can work with the colors black, brown, or black, brown, dark maroon, or deep earth tones. So looking up just some more information on that, those are the colors associated, or dark silver and hematite. That's why certain things like hematite and tourmaline are really good grounding crystals and stones, okay? So we're gonna start with that, and I will do light language each day. I will do it in the present moment. I'm not gonna do any type of recording ahead unless I'm guided to. So right now the plan is, my plan is, Source's plan is always different. Higher consciousness is usually different. But currently, do the light language for the Earth Star chakra, move up to the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart chakra, including the thymus, which is your upper heart, including those two intentionally. And then you'll go to the throat, then we'll go to the third eye, then we'll go to the crown, and then we will go to the spirit chakra, and then we'll go to the universal chakra, and then so the spirit chakra is above the soul star chakra. Sorry, stellar gateway. Okay, sorry, I got ahead of myself. So we'll go with the Earth Star chakra. Then you've got your main basic 7s, your root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus, your heart chakra, including your high heart, which is your thymus, your third eye, and your crown. Those are the 7. Then the expanded 8 to 12, and I'm adding Earth Star chakra in there, is your soul star chakra, which is your stellar gateway, which is above the crown, about 6 to, so again, visually imagine 6 to 12 inches above the crown. That's your soul star chakra, or your stellar gateway. Then your spirit chakra is above the soul star chakra, and then you've got your universal why there's something that wants to come through. Causal chakra. I don't know why causal is coming in. So universal causal chakra, your higher aura. And then you have your galactic chakra, which is far above the head. And then you have your divine gateway, which is the highest point in your energetic field. This is what I was guided to look up and get information to talk about this up and coming plan, guidance, download to do light language using my frequency and energy and working with higher consciousness that is working through me to channel the light language, okay? And again, you're going to receive something different. Like I said, I've been guided and used other beautiful channels in meditations using light language in their way and how they set up their videos for you to work with your 12 chakra system. If I do not forget, I will pin that in. I will pin those playlists as well if you want to check her stuff, because those are about 30 minutes each. And I've done them in order from bottom to top. I think I've done them from top to bottom. Again, there's no Earth Star chakra in that one, but I'm going to include that in mine. And I've done them kind of just bits and pieces where I feel like I need a little more third eye or throat chakra or whatever. So 1 1 1 1 on the timer. Numbers, pay attention. You're probably going to see an uptick. Probably going to see an uptick of the numbers. So Earth Star chakra, which we'll start with, and again, I'll do that when we're done here. And so I've already said colors. If you can visualize, it's about 6 to 12 inches below the feet. The colors associated typically are black or black brown, dark maroon, deep earthly tones, dark silver, or hematite. You can also use these stones while you're 144. Thank you, Source. It's a deep grounding. It connects your energy body to earth. It connects your body and energy body to the natural world, to Gaia, and to her crystalline grid, okay? And again, this is guided and led by just some information. Like last night, just tooling around and then sitting down and then writing some information down. Because I use my phone. If I had a computer, then I would just use my phone as a reference. There's a reason it's documented here. All right, so 0 to 13. And there's 13 days from today until the winter solstice. It also helps you deeply ground also DNA memories, ancestral healing, and lineage energy. Okay, so it supports presence, body awareness, feeling safe and stable. So having a balanced Earth Star chakra is you feel safe and grounded, clear, and you have clear emotional boundaries. If it's imbalanced, you can feel disconnected or kind of floaty. So if you find yourself hanging out in the higher chakras or higher realms more, maybe this is going to help you ground a little more, because you want to have a balance of both. You want to be connected as above, so below, as below, so above. You want to not be overly in the lower chakras, but you want to be overly 1 3 1 3 on the timer, too up in the ethers too often. You have to find the balance, okay? Also, an imbalanced Earth Star chakra will feel like anxiety or restlessness. But again, you can look into that if you want more information on that. And then when I had this nudge and this intuitive knowing that it felt like about 13 days when I said, all right, we're going to do the 12, but I want to include the Earth Star, because I always try to work with the Earth Star because I'm very grounded and connected with Gaia, that we're going to add the 13th. So usually if you're familiar, don't just made the connection that Source showed us 13 on the timer. Thank you, Source. That there's 13 days till the solstice. So there's no coincidence that I got the guidance and nudge to do this last night, and then sitting down and writing some information down and just like, I wonder if is there 12 days till the solstice, or nope, there's 13 starting today, 13 days till the solstice. And if you're familiar, a lot of us are like Friday the 13th and all the nonsense that's around that. So look up the sacred meaning of the number 13. I also had started seeing the number 13 adding together out in the wild, like just numbers adding together to the number 13 for a few days ago. Again, there's no coincidences. And then so looking up that, and so I'm going to, again, there's a whole lot of information depending on where you're searching. You can get 1444 on the timer, thank you. A whole vast, but I just wanted to write down the core meaning of the sacred number of 13, the sacred meaning number of 13. And what I will do either here or like in my introduction for the light language is I will give you the color to work with, maybe give you like some of the meaning and all of that to give you some idea, especially if maybe this is the first time. I don't want to assume that you know what the 12 chakra system is, that your Earth Star chakra system 1515, what these are. You may be coming across their source, or your team might be putting me in front of you to give you some information on that for the first time ever. I don't want to assume that you already know, right? I'm going to assume that you're going to receive what you're meant to receive, even if you know. If you know, or if you don't know, or if you know a little bit, and maybe it piques that curiosity and activates you and gets you curious, right? Get curious. I didn't know for years there was more than just your 7. And then I was introduced to the 12, and then practicing meditations and activations and listening to light language and intentionally working with these chakra systems, visually working with the colors if you're aware of the colors. So I'll give the colors if you can visually see colors. I highly recommend working with the colors and the intentions and everything that you're wanting to receive from that light language, right? You set your intention, you'll receive what you're meant to receive for your highest and best good, always through divine light, divine love, divine truth, divine power, and divine wisdom. And always use your discernment to see if this feels right to you. If it doesn't feel right for you, maybe save it for later and come back to it later, because this now you might not be ready for that, but you'll know when you're ready, and in a few days or a week you'll be ready. That now you will be ready to receive what you are meant to receive. All right, so the sacred core meaning of the number 13 is divine feminine transformation. So if you know about the sacred feminine and the suppression of the sacred feminine, it doesn't surprise me that they've deemed this or tried to program you to think this was a bad luck type of a number, if you know what I mean. All right, so the divine feminine transformation and higher consciousness, rebirth, and cosmic order. So the number 13 is in correlation with the divine feminine. It's in correlation with transformation, higher consciousness, rebirth, which we're all going through a big rebirth right now, in personally and collectively, and in cosmic order. So cosmic order, everything's coming back into balance, personally and collectively. So the number 13, it is a number of spiritual mastery, completion, and transcendence, alchemy, transformation, sacred lunar wisdom, unity beyond the physical realm. So again, spiritual mastery, completion, transcendence, alchemy, transformation, sacred lunar wisdom, unity beyond the physical realm. I'm having trouble reading my own handwriting. It changes every day. And I wanted to note again, there's 13 days till the solstice, so there's no coincidence that I'm guided to share this series, I guess we can call it. Thank you. This series of, so we will start with the Earth Star. All right, then we'll work our way up to the root, the sacral chakra, the solar plexus, the heart chakra, the lower heart, and the higher heart, which is the thymus. We will go into the third eye and the crown, and then we'll do the expanded series, which is your soul star chakra, which is your stellar gateway, and your spirit chakra, your universal causal chakra, a galactic chakra, and your divine gateway chakra. Okay, so I was guided to do that. I thought I was going to start with the root, and I was guided that no, we're going to start with 0, which is your earth star chakra. I'm really guided to not leave that one out. So we'll start with that today. So again, after this video, if you catch either one first or second, whatever, I'll give a little introduction when I do my light languages, and then I'll do the shorts because those seem to be helpful for people as well. Yeah, so I don't know till I know. And I got this kind of download drop in last night, and then I was guided to sit down and write some information, look at some information. So each day I will say, okay, these are the colors you want to work with. This is if it's balanced or unbalanced, and then work with that, and then work your way up. And again, you can follow along, and then if you catch it in current time, or if you're on a repeat, then you can say, okay, I need a little more for my universal chakra. I need a little more for my root chakra. You can mix it up. You don't have to go from bottom to top or top to bottom. Just kind of mix it in, you know, however and whatever feels in resonance for you in that now present moment, right? 2002 on the timer. Thank you. So that's the plan. Hopefully everyone's doing well. So again, I was feeling a bit more fatigued today, until I start channeling or having conversation, then my energy picks up a little bit. So I just jumped on the rebounder, gently rebounded for about 3 minutes. I usually recommend, if you have a rebounder, to jump or shake 3 minutes, 3 or 4 times a day. I also sit on my stability ball if I feel like standing is too much for me. And that'll just help move energy. It'll move your lymph system. It'll help you release energetically and physically anything that needs to be released in that present moment. All right. And it's really good. I always, like I said, I have a very small space, but I keep my rebounder in a place where I can just access this if I want to. My stability ball, I can sit on it and bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce and just breathe. So it's another form of like meditation practice. And again, meditation can look many different ways. It doesn't have to look one specific way. Always know that. And again, if you're seeing the 111s, the 222s, the 444s, all of those numbers, those progression numbers or those countdown, there's a reason you're seeing it. I've been seeing progression numbers and I've also been seeing countdown numbers. I wasn't out very long this morning after dropping the kid off and we getting some snow, and I had to run to Myers to get a few things. And I, again, guided, not like, my old me would have just come home and tried to force a workout, right? But my more, like I said, the higher self, my super conscious self is like, got the wheel. So I'm like, all right, it doesn't matter how crappy it is right now. I'm just going to go get this stuff done. It was super quiet. Loved it. Went and got in and got my stuff and just took my time and just no rushing, and got home, chopped up some watermelon. Yes, it's December the 9th and I'm still able to get decent watermelon. So I chopped that up, had some watermelon, made a tea, and said I was going to sit down 22 minutes on the timer, 22:02 on the timer. So these numbers are very resonant for me and my significant partner, because before I got on, I was just curious, what's the weather? Because I'm not even worried about the weather at this point. I used to constantly check the weather. Now I don't even really constantly check the weather. But it was 22 degrees, but felt like 11. So again, I screenshot it and sent it to him. Now again, he's 5,000 miles away in Sierra Leone, Africa, where it's about 85 or 90 degrees on a regular basis. And I sent him a video this morning saying, like, this is like, some people love this. I don't. I want to be there. I want that weather. I want 90-degree weather, hot, sweaty, hot as hell weather. That's what that's what I crave right now. The least amount of clothes, hot and sweaty. Sunshine. And so he sends me a screenshot back. So every time he opens up his computer, it says 20 degrees, 22 degrees. I think he's got his set at Celsius because he's over there. But it doesn't reset. It doesn't matter. Every single day he opens his computer, it doesn't matter. It says 22. And he knows in resonance, and his higher consciousness, his higher self knows that that number is associated with me, which in turn triggers and says, okay, that's a reminder of me, or vice versa, right? So there's times where he'll see it on paperwork or on a thermostat where it says 22, like it makes no sense. Like the other day when he picked up a random lock that was laying on the ground, flipped it over, and it said 222. So this is how we key code ourselves. This is how we telepathically communicate with certain people. So if you're sharing, if you didn't watch my video yesterday, please check that out. If you share a twin soul connection, you're telepathically communicating, whether you realize it or not, through I didn't mention this yesterday, but through songs, through videos, through whatever, whether you realize it or not. And what it is your higher selves are communicating, sending those signs, synchronicities, those messages and key codes to listen to lyrics, to hear this, to trigger a memory, to trigger this or to trigger that, to help you cleanse and clear anything that you might be experiencing in your connection or personally, or just a simple reminder. That's, that's how the universe works in such miraculous, magical, magnificent ways. And even when I started mentioning other numbers like 333, then he started seeing that and sending screenshots of seeing the number 333. So just have fun with it. Let your inner child come out and play. Okay? Heal your inner child, all aspects, at all ages, wherever you need to. Take some time, do the work, and just have fun and play. All right? So that's what I was guided to talk about today. Kind of, I guess, like a preempt video on keep your eye out for the chakra systems from 0 to 12. So basically 13 if you want to get technical, and then there's 13 days till the solstice. And then if you want to look at the sacred meaning behind the number 13, go ahead. I'm just giving you, there was much more, but I was only guided to write down the core sacred meaning, which is divine feminine and transformation, higher consciousness, which is higher consciousness is always wanting to get your attention, work with you, especially if you're meant to be a verbal channel, rebirth, and cosmic order. Is there anything else in here? Let me take a quick peek and see if there's anything else that I was guided to share. We'll probably pull some earth magic cards. Oh, okay. Thank you. So 333 is written down. So that, again, pay attention to your numbers. 22022. So be comfortable with being not being understood. So that came through a video, probably one of Courtney and Zero's video, but I was noted to write it down. It says, be comfortable with not being understood. It took me many years to be okay with people not getting me. I just, it broke my heart that certain people in your life who you think your blood lineage, your family, your relatives, I guess, I don't know how you want to put it, people that birthed you, or, you know, share sister, brother, cousin, whatever. I broke my heart when people, and then I just got to a point where I don't give a fuck. You don't have to get me. You don't have to understand me. You know, and if you treat me like shit, bye. So someone needs to hear that. So be comfortable with not being understood. And if it's your partner that doesn't understand you, you know, that's a challenge. So you just keep being you, keep doing the healing. And then eventually, if they are meant to be with you, they will hang about. They will fall more deeply in love with the weird, wacky, miraculous, magnetic, magnificent lighthouse being that you are, because you're holding your raw frequency and energy, and you're standing in your truth, no matter if somebody understands you or not, right? Your authenticity, your authenticity, I can't speak. Your authenticity is needed. My authenticity is needed. Your authenticity is needed. Our authenticity is needed. That's why we've been guided to share these real, raw, vulnerable videos or music or art or whatever it is, and how you are sharing your authenticity, right? The other thing that dropped into during one of my, so the song by India Ari, I Am Light. So go listen to that. I've listened to it many times. It's in the playlist. Go listen to I Am Light. Go listen to it. Okay, I'm guided to say somebody needs to go listen to that. Don't let others define you. So many years, over many years, I tried to unknowingly just let other people try to define who I am. I was still trying to figure out who the hell I was, right? And if you know me and you've known me long enough, I'm always shape-shifting, trying to figure out who the heck am I? Instead of just sitting in it and just honoring this, what I am here, right now. All right. Let's see here. So don't let others define you. They don't yet see who you truly are. So again, it goes back to family members, friends, loved ones, work environment, partners, whatever it is. So don't let other people define you, and just have that grace and understanding and hold space. Again, not trying to prove, convince, or anything like that, that they don't yet see who you truly are. And again, if they are meant to see who you truly are, source, universe, higher conscious, they will make them see who you truly are. All right. And otherwise than that, you're just going to mirror, and you're going to trigger, and you're going to activate in any way, shape, or form that you're meant to. And again, you don't have to know why. You just have to be. Just be. Okay. So that's that. Thank you for hanging out. We're going to pull some cards. I'm going to pull some Earth Star, but I don't know. Let's do What's the Vibe too. Yes. Okay. So let me take a drink. So thanks for hanging out, everyone. I can't believe it's December 9th already. I can, but I can't. So someone needs to stop and smell the roses. Slow down. If you haven't heard my messages or other channel messages, gnome for the holidays. Gnomes might be significant. I actually bought a cute little gnome headband randomly. It's a little girl's headband, but my head's not very big. And it's a headband and it has a pink gnome on it with little feet. So maybe I'll put that in a video. But gnomes for the holiday. If you hadn't heard the story, I'll pull my wooden gnome that was carved and left by one of our favorite backwoods camping spot. It's like our honeymoon site, and someone had carved it by hand and left it in the nook of one of the trees, and I'd found it. No coincidences, and it's in the house now. All right, so slow down, take some time for you, and get out into nature. So again, I know this is coming across a lot. So again, starting with that root and that Earth Star chakra in the next couple days will help you ground mentally into Gaia. The light language will help you ground more deeply in your meditative state, or even in your breath works. Just again, taking those sacred breaths and those pauses. So what I will do is if I'm in the kitchen and I feel like I need to ground, I will just close my eyes and breathe and just shoot my roots down into Gaia and just ground. Again, because I don't go bare. That's the hardest part for me in the winter, is not being able to be outside in the sunshine, because that's where I thrive, and being barefoot. No barrier between me and Gaia. Again, but I have all of the elementals. I have all of the elementals in the space, which helps. I take sacred baths and sacred showers, which will help with the grounding. Grounding rods, I'd mentioned that in videos, and copper wire, getting the copper rod in the ground before it gets too hard, running some wire through a cracked window, bring the wire inside and ground that around another copper rod that you can grab onto and ground. So it's just some ideas. So again, that some of us need to ground more, but there's many ways you can do that. You can eat grounding foods. You can use grounding essential oils. There's all different ways you can go and search what best resonates for you and what you're able to be consistent to ground every single day, more now than ever. Grounding your energy, okay? Take time. Maybe you should go buy yourself some roses. There's some pink and yellow roses. Actually, there's pink roses and like yellow daffodils here. So take some time for self, okay? All right, what else do we have? Let me give it a shuffle. That was on the bottom of the deck. And again, I don't usually pull these out too often for myself anymore. I just 3, 2, 2, 2 on the timer. I've been pulling them for you guys. So we're just gonna finish this video off. And then I will ground and check in through my Earth Star chakra, take some breaths. And again, I don't spend hours of meditation before I do that. I just take my breaths, check in, connect, and receive, and transmit, I guess. Is that right? Right? I heard the term hollow bone. I'd never heard of that before, but yes, that's when you become that open, clear channel for higher consciousness, for higher self, for super conscious selves, for source. Okay. What do we have for the collective? Please and thank you. There's that one. Ooh, time. Everyone's getting, ooh, okay. All right, what do we got here? Time, time, time. That song just dropped in. I don't know who sings it, but I'm hearing it. Time, time, time. It's that 80s, I think it's an 80s song. That's too many. Delays, procrastination, and too busy. So are you delaying something? Are you delaying putting yourself, are you putting yourself aside? Are you procrastinating something that you are? That's a good one. Are you procrastinating those intuitive nudges that you're getting? Are you procrastinating on looking at and putting some awareness on some healing work that you're maybe doing? Are you procrastinating on sharing and expressing your true authentic self? Are you procrastinating on listening to your higher self, your guides, and the wisdom? All right, what do we got here? So we got, like I said, delays and time came out. Again, too busy. Are you just trying to do all the shit, trying to do that hustle and bustle and busy, and you're just constantly getting, you're needing to do this, and quit worrying about that. Quit worrying about the time. All right, salty. So again, salt might be just that sign that you need to put more salt in your water. That'll help you ground. Making sure you have minerals in your water, and the easiest way to do it is get Baja salt, Redmond's real salt, pink Himalayan salt, some clean salt, and start adding it into your water. And maybe even more so now, you need to up that salt content. 3, 4, 4, 4 on the timer. That just might be all the sign and synchronicities. Maybe you're feeling bitter, angry, or petty about something. Maybe there's someone in your field that's feeling bitter, angry, or petty about something, right? I already have someone that came to mind. So whoever, as soon as you see this, when I say that first person that comes to your mind, always go with that. Don't think on that. So usually if you hear someone say something and the first person that comes to mind, that's probably that person is feeling a little pity. So paranoid, cautious, insecure, and guarded. So maybe you or somebody in your energy is feeling a little overly paranoid, a little cautious, a little insecure. Maybe they're watching too much news and they need to shut the fucking news off. They need to quit checking the online socials on all of the nonsense. Yes, there's shit going on. You need to be aware of that. But you don't have to put your energy and wrap up in the bullshit. So maybe you're overly paranoid about whatever you're paying your attention to. Change what you're paying attention to. Okay, maybe you're feeling a little cautious or insecure or guarded about something. And next is the glow up. So I've been hearing that I'm going to be getting another glow up, a got up. So there's some of us here in the collective that are going to be getting our glow ups or getting new opportunities, new careers, new successful businesses. Maybe you've already experienced your glow up. Maybe you've already getting your new opportunities have come in, a new career or successful businesses coming in. Okay, is there anything else here for this collective? Narcissist, egotistical, opportunist, and fragile. And yes, there are true narcissistic energies out there. And yes, they will attach to there's a low vibrational energy and frequency. And yes, if you are holding or living in a low vibrational frequency, you are open to get jumped. Thank you, that you open to get jumped. These will use vessels. Okay, but again, we all can have narcissistic tendencies, especially for hanging out in our lower frequency, if we're holding on to that lower chakra system. But you'll know if you have encountered or are encountering or involved with a true narcissistic energy. All right, you got to understand the difference and use your discernment. Thank you. And know that we all can hold certain tendencies, especially in our unhealed, thank you, source, in our unhealed selves. So someone needs to set up some more boundaries. Again, healthy boundaries. So that's, again, that going back to that Earth Star chakra, an unbalanced or imbalanced Earth Star and Root Star chakra is that you don't have healthy boundaries. You feel like you're constantly having to defend yourself, that enough is enough. Someone might be disrespecting you. Maybe someone in your family isn't like just accepting who you are and they're being disrespectful and they're, using words as spells, because words are spells. They're gossiping or they're saying these little nitpicky things and saying these cunning, like trying to cut you with like 1,000 paper cuts. They'll just throw in a conversation. They'll just throw in some, believe me, I've dealt with this. This is why I can talk about it. Whether they consciously realize it or not, they're like getting those little cuts in you. All right. Intimacy, mutual respect, unity, and closeness. So again, this could mean divine counterpart, soul tribe. People that are coming in that are going to respect you. You're going to unify. You're going to collaborate with. You're going to feel that closeness. You're going to have that soul bond, that connection. Again, this could be just people that you've never met. It could be family members that are waking up that you start receiving a little more, have intimacy. You could have an upgrade in your relationship where you've been doing the healing work. Your partner's been doing the healing work, and now you're upgrading, and now you have even that healed versions of self, and now you're just getting closer and closer. All right, some of us need to get away, relax and vacay, have fun. But you can vacay in many ways. So if you feel like you need to take a spa day, go buy yourself a massage just because. You don't have to wait for a special occasion. Treat yourself to a class or at a course if it excites you, ignites you, and expands you. Go to a sound bed therapy session, go to a meditation group or whatever. Get away. If you can, get away. Get the fuck away. Get the fuck away. I mean, again, I don't want to use lack mentality, but if I had the financial means at this present moment, I'd be the fuck out of here. I say that all the time. Please, I just want to get the fuck out of here. But again, I'm meant to be here right now. And then there's a lesson in that as well. Is there anything else in here? No? Okay. All right. So we're going to pull some earth magic and see what comes out to see if that correlates with any of the messages that have been shared today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Source, higher consciousness. And thanks for hanging out with me, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful souls. All right, what do we have? This is a magical deck. This deck has gotten more use than any other deck. All right, what do we have for the collective, please? And thank you. That was flipped upside down. So again, somebody needs to see that rebirth. But again, going back to the number 13 in the sacred core meaning, rebirth. Everyone's going through a little bit of rebirth. All right. We'll see what comes out and if I'm guided to read anything. Again, I don't ever know how long my videos are going to be. I just talk and I have a conversation with you beautiful souls, and whatever higher consciousness or source wants me to share, I will share in all of the real, messy, authentic ways. So fourth, you need to breathe. Find your breath. Ground your feet into Gaia, into her crystalline core, into the grid, and around her heart. Okay? So some of you, again, going back to, are not breathing enough. So let's do it right now. All right, I'm guided. Hand on the heart. Solar plexus, I would put mine hand. Maybe I need to breathe. So inhale. Exhale. So you're inhaling, pulling your energy up through your roots, through all of your chakra systems, through your entire pillar, all the way up to source. Inhaling. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Shut down. There we go. All right. So what else do we have for the collective? Please and thank you. And if I'm guided to do a card pull, I'll do a card pull perspective. So it's always taking that higher perspective. So some of you might resonate with this. This reminds me of a portal. So we're going to be going through that 12-12 portal here shortly. All right. The Milky Way might be... and you might have resonance with that, but taking that higher perspective. I may read on that one. Anything else here, source? There we go. Submerge. This is funny that this came out because I've seen this card like shuffling or folding, so clearly source wants it to be recognized. Submerged. It's that iceberg. So if you know anything about an iceberg, there's just a small part that you can see on the surface, and the mass majority of it is at the bottom. So I'm going to read a little bit on that. And then purification is on the bottom of the deck, which is rain. Going back to that sacred water, hydration. Take those spiritual baths, take those spiritual showers, those sacred showers. Also, again, if you can, get yourself out in the rain, get yourself into a body of water and cleanse. Rivers, lakes, oceans. Okay, and then, of course, under that is grounding. Grounding, and going back to stillness. Again, there's lots of water. If you're seeing water in these videos, if you're seeing water images, you might be a water sign. You might have water placements in your... That's definitely an indication, okay? There's a lot of water energy here, has been. And just know that your blessings are coming in. And there's that crystalline rainbow energy frequency. Going back to the crystalline or the rainbow 12 chakra system that I talked about at the beginning of the video. All right, so I'm going to check out perspective and submerge because I don't know if I've read any of those. 4407 on the timer. Oh, and guess what just came right up? As soon as I open the books, we're going to read iceberg first because clearly source wants me to share this information with you and probably me. Because it's never just for you. It's always a little bit for me too. Up to 90% of an iceberg's body is below the surface, deeply submerged in the bosom of grandmother ocean. Again, that ocean. Someone, if you can, get the fuck in the water. Do it, man. Yet grandmother allows a considerable freedom for her enormous children, permitting them to move about as dictated by the currents in their own momentum. Having broken off from a glacier or ice shelf, they float along the sea, much to the detriment of vessels that attempt to traverse their passageways. Most of us have heard of stories of ill-fated ships that have had tragic encounters with these ice mountains. Along the topmost portion of the iceberg can easily be seen. There's still a massive amount of its body below the water that may be difficult to detect. And that which remains unseen can fool us and perhaps even be dangerous and damaging. Wherever you suppress or deny or attempt to keep out of conscious awareness will show up somewhere and somehow. There are your shadow aspects. These are your shadow aspects. At one time, you put them out of your consciousness for a good reason. Yet they remained contained by shame and guilt. So my card reading, guilt came up in that reading yesterday. Sometimes these submerged aspects of yourself are projected onto others so that they mirror those denied or suppressed parts of you. And you may even harshly judge these characteristics when they are exhibited. Now is the time to allow these elements to surface and embrace them. It's doing the shadow work. So there's a reason that this card came up, and cards have come up. These may make up some sort of self-expression, a secret dream you wish to accomplish, or even uglier aspects that are difficult to acknowledge or accept. Whether you have submerged deep inside of you, whatever you have submerged deep inside of you, this is your opportunity to pay your attention to those things and welcome them to the family. Welcome them to the family called you. All right, so shadow work. Okay. So if you're getting that intuitive nudge to do the deeper work, do it. And do that. And the more you ignore it, the louder it's going to get and the more uncomfortable you're going to be. Okay? All right. Again, there's that Milky Way. Again, it reminds me of a portal perspective. The Milky Way is said to be one of billions of galaxies in the observable universe. It contains between 200 and 400 billion stars. The one most familiar to us being the sun. The oldest star in our galaxy is 13.2 billion years old, said to be nearly as old as the universe itself, and Earth is about 4.5. That was a bird. Thought it was snowing more. 4.5 billion years old. Distances are measured in light years, and the Milky Way galaxy is believed to be 100,000 light years in diameter, and the enormity of its vastness staggers the mind and challenges the imagination. Yet it also gives us some notion of where we fit in all of this. Considered from this perspective, our usual frame of reference is put to the task. We are faced with choices of abandoning our metamorphic vision in favor of seeing and accepting the bigger picture, or we can just allow ourselves to be overwhelmed by the sense of smallness and helplessness. Yet know that we are composed of material from those very stars that inhabit the Milky Way. Thus, we are connected to Earth, the entire universe at all times. We are connected to Earth and the entire universe at all times. As beloved, and so below. As beloved, and so below. In life and in death. Death is just an illusion. Okay? All right? You just transition. It's just an illusion. You have lost your perspective. So it is time to step back, breathe, and allow yourself to detach in order to gather information from your senses and regain your perspective about the situation. Detachment does not mean that you no longer care. It simply indicates that you are looking at things from a different point of view. It is an outlook that is not clouded by emotion, judgment, and or attachment to outcome, but instead maintains a non-reactive awareness of these things. So I got really good and have been really good at having that non-reactive, that higher perspective. And it takes some practice, but it's doable, believe me. And it will mesmerize and amaze those around you that are not able to do that, okay? The witness, the internal aspect of yourself that simply observes everything in your life, offers his or her eyes wanyata tirya. The witness, that internal aspect of yourself that simply observes everything in your life, offers his or her eyes here. Through these lenses of pure awareness, you can examine all aspects of your experience, physical, emotional, and mental, without denying anything. By doing so, you will come to understand a greater perspective than is typically justified by the ego, which allows you to see what is before you with a clear vision and an open mind. So there we go. Hopefully that resonates with those that it needs to resonate with in this now present moment. All right. I love you, beautiful souls. Thank you for hanging out in my sacred space today. I will talk to you in the next one. Love you. Bye.